Alaric Melodyborn. The rain in Viridia tasted of iron and regret, a common enough flavour these days. I, Alaric Melodyborn, songsmith of the Azure Quarter, wasn't composing ballads of heroism or lost love though. I was trying to coax a stubborn bloom from a bio-engineered night orchid for old man Fitzwilliam. He claimed its perfume eased his spectral arthritis. A ridiculous notion, of course, but Fitzwilliam paid well, and a songsmith must eat. The orchid, a lunar sigh, simply refused to open, its petals clenched tight as a miser's fist. It wasn't a matter of soil or light. I'd tried everything. It felt resistant, as if it didn't want to bloom. While recalibrating the nutrient feed, a delicate process involving sonic vibrations and, precisely, timed enzyme injections, I discovered something odd. Embedded within the orchid's root system, almost invisible to the naked eye, was a tiny, crystalline shard. It wasn't part of the plant's original design. It pulsed with a faint internal luminescence, and when I touched it, a foolish impulse, I admit, a fragmented melody flooded my mind, not a song of growth or beauty, but a frantic, discordant lament. The shard felt, coded, as if it were storing information, and the melody was a key. My investigation led me down the labyrinthine corridors of Viridia's bioengineering district. I sought out Dr. Aris Thorne, a disgraced botanist rumoured to have pioneered the very techniques used to create Luna's sigh. Thorne, a gaunt man haunted by past failures, denied any knowledge of the shard, but his eyes flickered with a nervousness he couldn't quite conceal. He hinted at a clandestine project, Project Nightingale, involving the encoding of memories within plant life, a radical and ethically questionable idea. The district was full of whispers, of plants exhibiting strange behaviours, of gardeners reporting unsettling dreams after prolonged exposure. It was a web of half-truths and veiled anxieties. I believed I had cracked the code. The melody, I realized, was a corrupted data stream, and the crystalline shard was a rudimentary storage device. By isolating and amplifying specific frequencies, I managed to reconstruct a fragmented message. Containment breach, Sector 7, recalibration, essential. Recalibration, essential. Sector 7 was an abandoned research facility, rumoured to have been the heart of Project Nightingale. I raced there, convinced that I was about to uncover the source of the orchid's resistance and the secret behind the encoded memories. But the facility was empty, stripped bare, save for a single withered Luna's sigh, identical to the one Fitzwilliam owned. It felt like a carefully constructed deception. Returning to my workshop, I found Fitzwilliam's orchid wilting, its petals turning a sickly grey. The shard within had gone dark, its luminescence extinguished. My attempts to recalibrate the plant, to restore its vitality, proved futile. The melody had vanished from my mind, replaced by a hollow ache. I began to doubt everything, questioning my skills, my judgment, my sanity. Had I been chasing a ghost, a phantom echo of a forgotten experiment? Was the ethical outrage I anticipated merely a fabrication of my own overactive imagination? I re-examined the data stream, not focusing on the melody, but on the silence between the notes. The gaps, the pauses, the moments of emptiness. That's where the truth lay hidden. The message wasn't about what was encoded in the plants, but how. The encoding wasn't meant to preserve memories, but to suppress them. The containment breach wasn't a release of information, but a failure to control it. The plants weren't remembering, they were forgetting, deliberately. And the failing wasn't in Sector 7, but within the plants themselves, spreading like a slow, insidious rot. I returned to Dr. Thorne, not with accusations, but with a revised interpretation of his research. He confessed that Project Nightingale wasn't about encoding memories, but about developing a bioengineered forget-me-nots, a plant capable of selectively erasing traumatic experiences. The crystalline shards were designed to trigger this process, but a flaw in the design caused the suppression to become unstable, leading to the plant's erratic behavior and the slow decay of their encoded, forgotten memories. He had deliberately abandoned the project, fearing its potential for abuse, but the seeds and the shards had already been sown. I confronted him, not with anger, but with the grim realization that we had both underestimated the power and the danger of forgetting. The aftermath was subtle, unsettling. The Luna's sigh in Fitzwilliam's garden finally bloomed, releasing a perfume that smelled not of peace, but of a vast, echoing emptiness. Other plants across Viridia began to exhibit similar behavior, flowering with an unnatural vigor, their scents strangely muted. The ethical implications were profound. Had we unleashed a cure for trauma or a weapon of mass oblivion? The rain in Viridia still tasted of iron, but now it carried a new flavor, the bitter, haunting taste of things deliberately, irrevocably lost. And I, Alaric Melodyborn, songsmith of the Azure Quarter, was left to compose a lament for memories we would never remember.